Nice. Yeah, buddy. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Unapologetic Sports. It's your favorite Uncle Lee Ice. You know I got my partner in crime. It's the Fly Guy.
Come on, man!
You had it up this week. It's the
Yeah.
Fly Guy, y'all. Flying Brian, what's up, bro?
What's up, Lee Ice? Yeah, so we already got people checking us out. So people got the message we were coming in early. This is a big week for sports with the Stanley Cup starting. Matty Ice has been counting it down. 2 hours away. We got the NBA Finals tomorrow, and then everything that happened yesterday with the Blockbuster trades. We decided we had too much to pack in for an hour and 15, so we need an extra half hour. So we're here at 6, going away about 7:45. So we got lots and lots to talk about.
You heard the Fly Guy. Special time, 6 o'clock. Some of y'all got the memo. I think most of y'all got the memo. You say people already checking in.
Yeah, people
So
are checking in. It's always like around as soon as we start, it's like a few, and then by like within 10 minutes, it usually gets to like our peak number, and then kind of just adjusts throughout the show. But in the very beginning, so to have this number already is not bad. So
hey man, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Like I always say, we thank everybody for tuning to last week's show. And again, we thank everybody for tuning to this week's show. Like I always say, I hope we can entertain y'all doing whatever y'all going through. You had a rough day at work, your boss getting on your damn nerves, your significant other, was your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever, whatever you call it, your cat, your dog, goldfish, somebody come chill with us. We're doing an extra half hour tonight, so we're gonna have some extra time, some extra fun. I promise you after the show, you will feel in a better mood. You ready to get things started?
yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna take me a nice sip of this. Ah, you ready to get things started? All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Like
So
the fly guy
obviously,
said, it's been busy already. Let's go.
yeah. So obviously, like the NFL likes to do, it stole the headlines. The NBA Finals is this week. The Stanley Cup's this week. But something happened. Some stuff happened yesterday that stole all the headlines on the sports shows. No different here. So we'll just get right to it. So the big news is the New York Giants have signed Odell Beckham Jr. He's coming back to New York. He oh that wasn't the big football news
Now
yesterday.
let's talk about Odell. Why? 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 Why, bro? Why? You think he still got something left?
I mean, maybe, but it's not. I mean, I know the Giants. We obviously we've talked about the Giants and stuff, and you have made your feelings about Harbaugh and all that. They seem to be going all in though, but all in on what? Making the playoffs, getting a wild card. I don't know what they're clearly far away from being contenders or maybe even winning the division, but they're making a lot of moves to this. To you would think they can make. I don't know. It's weird.
I hope he don't go there and ruin that quarterback, man. That young quarterback, that young receiver, neighbors. Go there, just play a role, play a mentor role if you can. I don't know if he has that in him. You know, he's a vet now. He's probably about what, 32, maybe 33.
Yeah.
So
He didn't
all the
play. Did he play
image.
it all last year? Did he play it all?
I don't think he played last year. He might have. I don't know. He last team I think he played for was Miami. I don't know if that was last year or the year before. I'm sure
Um,
the human Google will help us out
yeah,
later
he's
on.
probably all right. So obviously that was a joke, but that was news yesterday. Obviously, the biggest news we're gonna cover it in about 10 minutes. We got a special guest coming on. If you watch the show and you know what the big news is, you probably figure out who the special guest is. But anyway, just keep it in secret just to be fun. It's not really a big secret. So the other biggest news was this. All right, so this wasn't
Hmm.
really a big secret. Everybody kind of knew this was happening. It was announced, and then it was kind of maybe wasn't going to happen because of Vrabel's nonsense, but then it's still happening. So AJ Brown's is being traded, going to the Patriots. So the Eagles get a first round and a what's it fifth round. So they get a fifth round
Yeah.
next year and a first round the following year.
Yeah. Uh, like I said, it wasn't a big secret. I mean, I didn't think they would get a first round, but I mean, it's not next year's first round. It's 2028. But
Yeah.
AJ Brown, I mean, he's a legitimate receiver. I mean, a legitimate number one. I think only him, and I think it's like six others. He's in the name with Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, players like that. I think it's the yardage that they have. I'm sure the human Google will check that out too. But yeah, he's in a. I mean, I'm gonna say he's in a class by himself. But when you're mentioned with Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, who's my favorite wide receiver of all time, I mean that you've done something in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's very good. I know there was I mean, he was obviously out there for talks of other teams, and Buffalo was rumored at one time. Uh I know Patriots fans are ecstatic, and they should be happy. He's very good. And but there is the underlining, they traded him, nothing to do with his talent. They traded him because he didn't want to be there, and he wasn't happy with the way Hurts, whatever their relationship was. And he won a Super Bowl, and more or less in his own words said that didn't matter. He wants numbers. He didn't quite say it like that, but he did. He said
Man
something
was
like,
reading a book on the sideline.
yeah, well, that too. So I know Patriots fans think Drake May is the second coming and he's the future of the league, and all that might be true. But again, in the playoffs, he played some of the top defenses. He performed very, very bad. He was not good at all in the playoffs. Even the game that he had two or three touchdowns, I think he's the Texans. He also was sacked a lot, also had multiple turnovers. So if things don't go well early on, and their schedule is brutal all year, and their schedule is brutal in the very beginning, they play the Seahawks week 1, they play the Bills week 4 in Buffalo in week 4. So it's going to be, if this starts off bad, who knows how this is going to go? I mean, maybe this Bills fans wishful thinking that it doesn't work out, whatever. But there is that to it. I mean, he's clearly a diva, and he's very vocal about it too, and doesn't care.
I don't know
So
what it is about wide receivers and their diva like attitude. I'm trying to think who was the first receiver that was a diva, and I'm
To,
trying to go old school 80s. I
but there
can't
wasn't
think
really
of no.
that wasn't yeah, because Jerry Rice wasn't.
Jerry Rice wasn't a diva. Sterling in the 80s. Who was Gary Clark, Jerry Rice,
Was it Bad Moon Rising? He
Bad
was kind of a
Moon
diva, wasn't
Rising,
he? Yeah,
Bad Moon Rising, maybe, but not to
yeah.
this level. You
He
know what
wasn't
I
that,
mean?
but he was a one hit wonder, wasn't he? He wasn't that great.
Oh, Andre Rison was
Was good
he
for a
was
few.
right up there
Okay,
with He was right up there with Rice until he got traded to Cleveland.
right.
I mean, he wanted money, so Cleveland, Art Modell went all in, and that's how Cleveland. That was the last straw for Cleveland to get moved to Baltimore. Yeah, I don't know why these receivers just. I mean, you need a quarterback to be good, and if you have a good quarterback, and I mean, I know you and I, both of us, we're not the big Jalen Hurts fans, but he
Well, he's pretty.
produces. He
Well, he's
wins.
definitely he's border. If I know Eagles fans want him to be top 3 or 4, he's just not. He's definitely arguably top 10. If not, he's right outside the top 10. And I know Patriots fans think Drake May's top 3, 4, 5, 6. And we don't really know exactly where based on last year, he was runner-up MVP, so he's right there. But who knows what Drake May really is? We don't really know. I think he's somewhere in the middle from the MVP caliber season to the atrocious playoff season. I think it's more in the middle. And where that
I
middle
just
is,
think
I think we'll
he
find
was.
out.
I think his injuries hurt. I want to see him come back this year. How he comes back, you know. And I'm looking for Brown to have a good season because if you look at Josh McDaniels, I seen a stat. Wide receivers under Josh McDaniels, their very first year. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's and he's going to get it. I mean, if he follows the stats of all the other receivers, 1,400 and 8 to 10 touchdowns, easy. So
Yeah.
I
I
think he
mean,
knows that. I think he knows Josh McDaniels is going to use him the way he wants to be used. And oh, look who's checking in. She
early, checking
normally
in
checks
early.
in at the end, the
Yeah.
closer. The beautiful Marlene from Cali. She said, Cali girl is here. Yes, she is, y'all.
Far away, it looks like it says call girl because with the screen small, but there's an I. It's an I, not an L.
Yeah.
um, So we won't really not too much women's sports to talk about this week. Too much other stuff to talk about. WNBA. I know that the Commissioner Cup starts, and that the first game is one of the first games is Reese versus Clark. So that'll be good, but a little too much.
Right.
So one more thing from again the other big thing from yesterday we'll talk about in a few minutes, but this was also so we can talk about this a little bit. So it looks like Russell Wilson is I don't know if he's officially retired, but he's I guess not playing this season.
He's CBS going into the booth. Well, I can't see. Can you see him in a booth?
I don't know if he's in the booth. I thought I saw maybe he's doing the morning show. I don't know, but he's going to be with them at CBS.
Yeah,
TV analyst. Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't think that's a commentator, right? So that's not the same thing.
I guess he'd be part of the pregame show.
Yeah, I think that's what I think he'd probably be on the CBS because he's Mister.
I think that's a good spot for him. I think that's a good spot for him. He knows how to be fake, so.
So they used
He
so back
knows how
back
to be fake, huh?
yeah back in a few well, it was more than a few years ago, but I think it was Deion Sanders. He used to do this like highlight show, and when every time Russell Wilson would do something well, because at one time he was one of the top quarterbacks, and they would show him Dion. I'm pretty sure it was Dion would say his name funny, and I always say it now. So
What
he would say
Russell
first.
last name
He say
Wilson?
first name Yeah, exactly. So last
Russell
name
last name Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah.
He was a definite Hall of Famer until his last 4 years.
So it's funny that you said that. So they talked about this on Drive Time. Matty Ice, which he'll be on later, yesterday, and then I'm sure Tuesday Night Fly will cover it, but we'll give our input here. And you just kind of said it. They were both adamant he's a Hall of Famer. Probably not first ballot, absolute Hall of Famer. I thought maybe the last 4 or 5 years could have hurt it. I think it definitely hurt it as a first ballot. I think he would have been a first ballot if it wasn't for before he went to Denver. I think he was a first ballot Hall of Famer. After going to Denver, I think it. So, do you think he's still guaranteed to be in the Hall of Fame, or do you think?
I don't think 4 years. How many years did he play before that? Played at least 10 years in Seattle, right?
Yeah, got the two
Came
Super
in at
Bowls, won one.
2012,
Yeah,
left in 22, so 23, 24, 25. Yeah, he had 10 years in Seattle. You can't erase his 10-year resume in Seattle. So even though he had 4 bad years, 10 beats 4, unless you're a LeBron fan. But so yeah, I got to give shots every time I get a chance. Yeah, 10 years in Seattle. He's definitely a Hall of Fame. So
you brought him up. I actually had this ready, just to kind of poke fun and have a little fun. Although it's trending, it's catching fire today.
what's that? Oh God.
So
God, please,
there was some
please
report that
don't
it's
let this happen.
that
Please,
him
God.
going that him
God,
going to Golden
please.
State is live or what. I don't really know what that means, but I got a few of them for you. So
No. Hell no. You know I want to say another word, but I know Mama Sweeney watching. So I'm not going to say that word, but it begins with an F. No. He don't even look right in that jersey, man.
All right, so
No.
our special guest is
No.
waiting in the wings.
No.
We can actually bring it up with Josh when Josh comes on too. We can put that on the screen again. Just real quick, this is I don't know if it's just me because of my algorithm on Facebook or this is that or we're local. So your boys the Commanders got a little news, and
Oh
it's
yeah?
to me. I don't know if it's trending, but I saw it on multiple spots.
What's
So
that?
they've announced lowering food prices for season ticket
Yeah.
holders.
I heard that. I heard that
Yes.
today. I heard
So
that.
a lot of fans are mad that it's why isn't for everyone. I don't mind season ticket holders getting something special. They're the most loyal fans, technically. Whatever, it's okay. So they got a list of 10 items that are under $5. Pretzels under 5. I mean, this might sound like it's expensive, but for arena food, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you got
That's good.
5 items under 10. You get Ben's Chili Bowl if you're local. You know what that is for $8. You get chicken tenders and French fries for $9.99. That's a good price.
I
So
haven't been to that stadium 16 years, probably.
So
I hate that stadium.
Dad
I
had
hate that stadium.
well, it's terrible, but Dad had season tickets for a while. He gave them up. I guess you'll comment the exact year, but Brian Jr. probably was like 10, 8 or 10. He just decided not to do them anymore. But yeah, we would go all the time. We were there for RG3, it was a big year. We were there for the game where they beat the Cowboys to win the division, and then the game where he got hurt with the Seahawks. My wife was there with my father. He was not there for RG3 electrifying because they left the game early, so he
Uh,
missed that play,
uh,
which we mock him all the time for, and we will continue to do that.
but
Uh,
I plan on going to games. I mean,
well, the new
JD5.
stadium, you got the new stadium coming
Yeah.
soon, so
Yeah.
like I said, so 2019. Okay, so it's been
Oh, that's
it was
not that long.
yeah, I thought it was longer. All right, so we'll stop beating around a bush and playing games. We'll talk about the biggest story of the day, and we'll bring in our special guest, the Rams fan of the Sideline Junkies, my
What's
son.
up, guys?
There he is,
So,
y'all. The prodigy.
How you doing, man?
What's going
so,
on?
so obviously everyone knows uh, this is the big story, and it's kind of cool for him because he's being booked all over the place because of this. He was on
Yeah.
Drive Time last night. He's going to be on Tuesday Night Flight coming up after our show. So there you go. Everybody kind of knows. Take it away.
I mean, yeah, it's I said this in the yesterday. You know, they're turning into the Cowboys they're in every headline nowadays. Which is nice when it comes to getting the former defensive player of the year.
Two time.
Well, when I first heard about it, I heard about Miles first, and then I read that we traded Jared Verse, and so that came. I wouldn't say a surprise.
Wait,
But
where'd you hear it from? Did you get a text on your phone from Adam Schefter?
He did shoot me a call.
I broke the news to you. Oh,
Ah,
Mister always on his phone, get alerts from ESPN and everyone. I broke it to you. You didn't know. Oh,
and
call me Brian Schefter.
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, there's nothing. I couldn't be more excited about it. But I know there's a lot of people a little bit weary. It almost feels a little bit too good to be true, perhaps. And I said this. I also said this yesterday. You know, it's almost it almost looks so much like to the 2021 season that you're wondering if they're doing too much. You know what I mean? But no, I don't
But
think
Oh,
it
they should.
worked out.
you mean
It
like
worked
this?
out in 2021. What is that?
So that's something somebody made. So that's Aaron Donald, rumored to be coming back as the
Oh,
last stone in the Infinity Gauntlet. If you watch
That
the
would be funny.
Marvel, the Avengers, you get that.
if that guy comes back and lines up next to that other guy, just go ahead and hand him the trophy. Just go ahead. Give him the trophy.
That's what everyone's saying. And
I'm not saying that.
in terms of the draft capital, the first round pick, I look at the team, and in their minds they've covered every hole. They covered the cornerback situation, free agency. Um, the offensive line is better than it has been in the past. The front line of the front four is clearly what it's going to be now, and even the backup quarterback situation, if Matt Stafford were to go down, is a little more exciting than Jimmy G would have been.
Who's the backup?
So
The guy
I
they
forget.
drafted.
Ty Simpson,
Yeah, they
Oh,
dra-
yeah. Oh.
yeah.
right, but
Hey, with Jimmy G.
yeah,
Jimmy G got a team to the Super Bowl, man.
So did
I
Rex
watched it.
Grossman. So did Rex Grossman.
Jimmy G has a winning record in the NFL. Don't discount Jimmy Garoppolo.
What do you guys think?
About the trade?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, if there's
I'm
anybody
ready.
that's negative about it, it's just fans that are hating. Anybody that would have traded for Myles Garrett would be ecstatic. I know
I'm
everybody's gonna act like,
hating.
well,
As a Commanders fan, I'm hating.
yeah, because you wanted him, right?
Hell yeah, shit.
Yeah, of course.
Well, ever since Les and McVay have been there, there's been no fear to make these kind of moves where everyone, for the first week or so, not necessarily in this situation, um, doubts it for a while. You know, the Jared Goff thing we always go back to. The Todd Gurley situation was odd at the time. Turned out to not be that crazy now.
Their track record speaks for itself, which is why
Right.
just,
And so you put a lot of trust into what they're doing, but it's one of the biggest, you could say, all-in splashes, however you want to call it, ever. Bigger than they have the MVP, they have the Defensive Player of the Year.
Has that ever
Devontae
happened?
11 touchdowns,
and you had the
Puka
runner-up for
receptions.
Offensive Player of the Year too,
Right.
which I thought he should have won it. So
Puka.
yeah,
But has that ever happened? The MVP and the Defensive Player on the Year on the same team? I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm sure it has to have.
Bruce Smith
Probably.
could have won it the year Thurman won MVP. I have to go back and look, but I'm sure Bruce Smith has been Defensive Player of the Year, and Thurman Thomas won it MVP in '91. So that could have maybe. I have to go back and look, but
I feel bad for Jared first. You know, it's if anything, it's unfortunate for him. But
I compare it to, and y'all, well, Junior, you're definitely too young. When the Green Bay Packers signed Reggie White, you know, even though it took them, I think it took them 2 years to win a Super Bowl. But this guy right here, I mean, you saw what he did on a bad team. You know, he led the league in sacks, and I guarantee you,
broke the record.
yeah, broke the record. Yeah.
I guarantee you, most of those sacks came from when his team were losing. You know what I'm saying? Now he gets to play with a lead. I'm thinking he might break his own record. he might break his own record.
Well, that was a discussion I've seen on other shows. Do you think he performs better or worse now that he's on a really good team, a balanced team? It's not the whole focus. Where maybe some of the games the Browns are getting beat anyway, they just go to blitz, try to get sacks. Yeah, I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just saying.
No, he's going to have more opportunities.
Okay.
His team is going to be in the league, so the other team is going to have to pass to catch up.
Well, I think what this is speaking from McVay or Snead or both of them together is in 2021 when the Super Bowl year, the final two games, the 49ers game, the last play, not the last play, but the play to steal the game was Aaron Donald getting to Jimmy Garoppolo and him throwing that interception. And then in the Super Bowl, on fourth down, he made that play against Joe Burrow to win the Super Bowl. That was two Aaron Donald plays to seal the game. That was one guy, whatever you want to call him, the greatest, this and that, and made those plays at that specific time. And recently, when in those times the Rams have had to make a stop in certain games, regular season and playoffs, it hasn't necessarily happened every time. And I'm not saying it happened every time back then, but now you have that guy, that one singular guy. You're saying, hey, can you do this when it's time on that fourth down Super Bowl play? And I think that's what they need or what they're looking for.
What do you think about maybe like the mixed, I don't know if signals is the right word, but where this year's draft, they clearly drafted a guy for the future, and then a couple months later, they give up a lot of draft picks for the future. And I know the Rams are very different with their draft picks to go all in again. So I just was curious, what do you think? You think just Simpson is he's just a almost like a break glass emergency just in case Stafford gets hurt?
I don't necessarily think that, but I don't think there's there's that. Well, I mean, let's say a scenario without them winning the Super Bowl, because that changes a lot of things. It could influence Stafford to retire more if they won the Super Bowl. But I mean, if they didn't, I think they look at it as they're not afraid to have this guy who isn't hyped like Arch, isn't hyped like Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, those kind of guys, where if he sits for 3 years, similar to Jordan Love, that kind of situation, it's not a copy, but it's one of those. Right. They're not going to get that much. Well, the MVP's playing for them. They're not. It's going to take time. And if he turns out to be really good when he plays, or when Stafford most likely misses a game, you can't expect him to play every game. It'll mean something for the future, especially with them giving up these picks.
If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, is this trade a complete bust? Do they have to win the Super Bowl, or just
it depends on
getting there?
Stafford just signed an extension, right?
Right.
So they think they're going to get him this year and next year. And if you want to, whatever they're going to do, they're going to pay Puka, depends on if they're going to re-sign Devontae. I mean, there was a quote out there. Devontae said he's going to play as long as Stafford's there. But are they going to want to sign Devontae in 2 years from now?
And then
there's so many factors.
But they got to pay Puka, right? I mean, is that this year or next year?
Well, this would be his third year,
right?
This would be his fourth year, I think.
This would be his fourth year.
Am I lost?
Off the top of my head, I'm not.
I think you're right. I think it's 3.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys like to get paid.
They got 1 more year with him.
Yeah.
And then they can franchise him, which he probably won't like. But
right, if he doesn't get a contract after either in this year or after this year, the 4th year could be an issue because he wasn't a first-round pick. So there's no extension.
But then you got guys like you got Kobe Turner, who's going to want, who's played amazing on the front line, and he's going to want a lot of money for a defensive line player that's not Miles, that's not unnecessarily a name, but who's playing really well, and that matters. Those guys are going to want money too. Byron Young, all major players, and they're going to all want money very soon. So I don't know.
No, this isn't exactly the same, and he did get hurt. But I know Green Bay Packer fans last year were feeling very similar after they got Micah Parsons. Now, they didn't even get past the first round. I know he got hurt, but do any of us think the Packers were going to get to the Super Bowl if he didn't get hurt?
But I don't think the Packers did what the Rams.
And they're not as built as good as the Rams are.
You could were whatever, 2 plays, a drive, however you want to look at it, away from the Super Bowl.
You were 1 play away, weren't you on the goal line? Yeah.
They would have won the Super Bowl on the 2023.
So this is his 4th year then.
Right? This is his 4th year? I don't remember him in
2023, 2024. Yeah, so this is his 4th year.
He came after the 5-12 season. Okay. Which was
he was drafted in 2023. That means he played 2023, 2024, 2024, 2025.
I don't remember him in 23. Unless he got hurt.
I think he excelled in his rookie year, but it was Cooper Rush.
Well, I mean, damn, we both Cooper Cup.
I didn't want to say Cooper Flag. I in my head said, "Don't say Cooper Flag," and then I said,
"You said Cooper Rush," and my dumb ass said Cooper Flag. Cooper Cup. But damn, lost my train of thought. That's what happens when you get old. Stafford is what, 38? Stafford is 38.
Stafford is going to be 38, I believe, at the point.
So he didn't miss no games last year, right?
Right.
And there was a scare.
He's unexpected.
He did miss a game 2 years ago. So he's played 2 straight years without getting hurt. I think. Much.
But he was hurt coming into the season. Remember, he had all the back stuff.
He was big doubt about him coming in with his back. Yeah. I mean, this is the NFL, and quarterbacks go down. And he's an older guy, But if he stays healthy, I mean, I had y'all the best team in the NFC before you got him. Before you got I was about to say Aaron Donald. Before you before you got that monster from Cleveland. So
Miles
that
Garrett.
just he's just. Have y'all seen that dude with his shirt off? I mean, I might sound a little, but damn, have you seen him with his shirt off?
I have honestly, yeah.
That shit is ridiculous.
It's
Man.
So I guess your boy's got an early birthday. She said Stafford will be 39 right away. So he must have a January, February birthday then.
Who's Stafford?
Yeah.
I thought he had a late birth. But he came into the league at 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. He was really young when he came in to
him in 09, or he was drafted in
08, right?
09,
08 or 09? Okay. So this make the cornerback that y'all signed. I mean, y'all traded for him, right? The cornerback? I can't think of his name right now.
Ty Simpson.
Is it corner or quarter?
The cornerback. Corner, DB.
Yeah, the guy you got from the Chiefs.
From the Chiefs, yeah. We traded, yeah. I believe it was I don't believe it was a first.
It was
so that makes that helps him out, big time.
Remember, you had 2 first. You traded one for him. Yeah.
So you get a top-notch corner and the defensive player of the year. I mean, your defense instantly got, I ain't going to say great.
Right, and they were already medium to high level with Shula, and he's up and coming too. And I'm sure he'll get a job after next year, which isn't anything new.
Well,
bottom line is there's always trust in McVay. There's only been one bad season, pretty much.
He almost quit after that.
I did see that.
He almost quit after that. And that's not. So can you trust this guy? I mean, say y'all win the Super Bowl, and then say quarterback retires, and you're going with Simpson, and McVay seems like he would get frustrated. Really,
there's a lot of worry about that anyway. That when Stafford goes, McVay's going to go. Yeah, there's already talks about that.
It depends on how much excitement he has in these. He just has to stay inspired. Like I think it had to what being inspired as in you want to win for. Like Puka doesn't have a ring. You want to get somebody like that on your team a ring. You want to get, Kyron Williams or whoever. Those new players or Devontae. You want to, a guy like that. That's someone you really want to get. You want to win with. So,
but if McVay can say the Rams, which they won't. Say the Rams win the Super Bowl this year, that'll give him 2, been to 3. Then he can start worrying about his legacy. If you got 2, you're already maybe not in the GOAT. I mean, obviously the GOAT conversation for coaches are weird, but if he can get
40,
right, he's only 40. If he could get 2 this early, he'll be the youngest to have 2 or whatever stuff you have. And then if he can get to 3, then that'll automatically put him up there right with the GOAT. So if he can get 1 now, that might intrigue him to stay around because he has potential to be one of the all-time greatest. Although if he gets a second one, maybe he's good with that. I don't know. It's weird. It's so weird because he's so young. I mean, Andy Reid. Nobody's talking about Andy Reid going anywhere. And how old is he? And there's not one rumor about him leaving.
He's almost 70 now, right?
Yeah, he's got to be close to it, if not 70.
There's not one conversation about him leaving anytime soon. So, Pete Carroll just came back, didn't he? I mean,
that lasted. Poor Uncle Pete.
All right, buddy. Any final thoughts on this mediocre trade? That's not really
nothing else but being very excited. I don't know how you can't be excited.
Well, real quick for you.
The future doesn't matter, but
what about Jared Verse though? Do you think? So I saw on First Things First they were saying that they valued him as a two firsts. So you guys are giving up 3 first rounders. Do you see him as that? I know he's been playing well. He's only been in the league for 2 years. I guess his ceiling is
really stepped up as that leader.
Is that guy?
That there was that Donald retired. They looked to replace him. They drafted Verse and Braden Fisk. kind of as that duo to replace him. And they both turned out, and I don't necessarily look at sacks as being, but he was healthy, and he was always there in those big moments, similar. But I don't know how the Browns necessarily went about. Like I know that Todd Monken, I heard that he never even met Myles Garrett. And that's just a front office situation. And then he said after, when I wasn't promised anything when I became a head coach here. And, you have those clips of him talking about them playing 7-on-7 and throwing interceptions. Or, it's an absolute disaster. So I'm not going to judge
of course.
necessarily that to be true. I don't know how many other teams would value Jared versus 2 firsts. I think that's pretty out there, but there was no doubt he's worth at least a first.
Yeah.
He was an unbelievable player.
I feel bad for him. You go from the Rams to the damn Browns.
And in your third year.
Yeah, and no idea, right?
And you're the third. But he's about to get paid. He's about to get paid. So.
Yeah, by somebody.
No, he has. No, he got to wait 2 more years.
You wait 2 more years. Somebody will pay him. He said all the Browns care about is they all care about Arch. That's what they care about. They care about getting Arch Manning.
So, do you think Aaron Donald's coming back? They showed him working out. That guy still looks like
he's a machine. But this happens every year.
I don't think it has to do with if he comes back. It's if he does come back. And he doesn't play. He just has to play at a mediocre to high level compared to what he was.
He's been gone 2 seasons?
I believe so. Yeah.
This will be the third one. This will be the third one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so because his versus 3rd year.
Yeah.
If he comes back and maybe he plays a little bit and he's not doing anything, and then they start to play him very infrequently, if that's a word.
It is today.
And then I don't want that to put a dampering on the team. They brought him here and he turns out to suck, and it's kind of talked about, why'd he come back? It's real. You don't want anything like that happening. That's what's worrying me.
I remember Reggie White sat out a year. It might have been 2. And he came back and played with the Panthers. And he wasn't Reggie White. Right. But, But then again, Aaron Donald don't have to be Aaron Donald. He got that monster next to him. He got Myles Garrett next to him, So you put them on there. Who are you double teaming? One of them.
You got Byron Young on the edge and Myles. You got Donald up front. Cody. There's 2. It's right. It's impossible. Is the goal?
Yeah. Well, like Damon Woody said on ESPN, the world gets to see how good Myles Garrett is now because y'all had 7 primetime games or something crazy like that.
If you include Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. The world gets to see how good he is. Real football fans know.
Well, of course.
All right,
I
buddy.
know, and I've never seen, and I really don't see him play. So, all right, thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
We got to leave you something to talk about in an hour or so. So.
Right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right.
That was the Prodigy, y'all. Number 1 Rams fan.
Yeah, he's the official Sideline Junkies Podcast Network Rams guy.
How could you not be excited if you're a Rams fan? You had the MVP of the league, and now you got the Defensive Player of the Year coming along to join him. A guy who has not won anything of significance. Now he legitimately has a shot at a Super Bowl ring. He's gonna play his ass off, man.
Well, that actually I can't get the word out. Goes right into the next segment because
Hmm.
uh my first flying high is obviously Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett went from being on the Cleveland Browns, living in Cleveland, to be on the before he was traded, the Rams were the favorite to win the Super Bowl as it already was. They
Yeah,
were anywhere between plus 750 and plus 900. If you're betting, you understand what that means. Now they're plus 550, plus 600 with him. Now he gets to live in LA. And I said, "Oh, cost of living in LA." It doesn't, he'll be all right.
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Is he
He,
married or is he is he a single guy?
he's engaged to an Olympian. She's in the Winter Olympics. I don't know if she's a skater or a skier. They have a commercial together. It's kind of
Okay.
cute. They
Well, hold
sitting
on.
at the dinner table.
Before I move on, we got some anger in the comments. It said bullshit. TJ Watt plays with better talent, and Lee Ice complains about the Steelers.
Of course, yeah. If you play with better talent, you should put up numbers, right? Myles Garrett plays with shit. He's played with shit. The Browns, literally shit, and he led, set a damn record, set a broken NFL record. Now he gets to play on a good team, a team that's going to be ahead in the fourth quarter. This guy going to get all kind of crazy sacks now.
That's always my dad's argument when he talks about Dick Butkus, how great he is, because you can't name another player on the defense that Dick Butkus ever played with.
You
So
really
my
can't.
yeah, so Myles Garrett was in that similar.
Yeah, he was in hell. He really
According,
was in hell.
according to my
Name
mom,
another name another Cleveland Brown on defense.
yeah, I don't know. I probably can
Really?
know another. I can know Shador Sanders, and that's for other reasons. I don't know who plays on Cleveland. Baker Mayfield's still there. Um, According to my mom, Myles Garrett's girlfriend or fiance or whatever is Chloe Kim, and she's very
Yes.
cute. And she's very
Yeah.
cute.
They have a very cute commercial, Mama Sweeney. I saw it the other day.
And so, just one more quick flying high. We got to get to the deep freeze before we have Matty Ice on. But Matty Ice is he's flying high. He is a huge hockey fan, obviously, but he's also a fan of the team that's in the Stanley Cup. So if you people that are
Panthers. Go
so
Carolina. I
yeah,
mean,
so
not the
he
Panthers, the Hurricanes.
the
I'm sorry,
Hurricanes, yeah.
Maddie. I'm sorry, Maddie. The Hurricanes.
So yeah, so he's and I know Showtime Sarah, who's also she posted a video in our little chat how excited she was, and it was cool to watch because I can only imagine my and I'm 40, and as a kid I saw Buffalo go, but it's not the same. If Buffalo just gets there, how I'm going to react, and it was cool to watch the video because it was a real emotion.
Yeah,
So it was
I
cool.
saw that video.
So he's definitely flying high. We've already posted it multiple times in our group chat, counting down the minutes, counting down the hours, talking about
Man,
how that.
it's been a long, well, Golden State, but that's only because of stuff. But your childhood team is nothing like seeing your team play for a championship. There's nothing like it. I was spoiled, okay? I was spoiled. All right. I was a 76er fan because of Dr. J, but I rooted for the Bullets, of course. My mother would get me Bullets tickets, especially when Philadelphia came to town. So I saw the Bullets win the championship in 78, okay? Then 1982, of course, I seen my Redskins win the championship, the Super Bowl. And like I said, I was a Dr. J fan, so I saw my Sixers win the championship in '83. I also grew up a Georgetown Hoya and Maryland Terp fan, so I saw my Hoyas win the championship in '84. Then, of course, the Skins again in '87, and of course, they was just good throughout the '80s because of the GOAT, the greatest coach of all time, Joe Jackson Gibbs. You know, I always got to throw that in. And then in my my early 20s, I saw them win another Super Bowl. So I've been spoiled. But for the last 20 something years, I've only had the Maryland Terps when they won the championship with Gary. What was that, 2001? But I became a Steph fan. I'm not going to say I'm a diehard Golden State fan. It's mostly because of Steph Curry. So I saw them win 4, but don't do this to me. Don't do that. So I've been spoiled. See, you haven't seen your team win a championship.
No. And I remember when Josh got to the championship game in 2020, during COVID and all that, how I felt, or 2021 technically, but it was the 2020 season, and how I just remember. I don't think I cried. We were all together, but I just remember just they're in a they're in a championship game. I just remember just years and years of waiting for the draft and drafting EJ Manuel and thinking maybe this will be it, and drafting JP Losman, and it's like, oh, he's a first rounder, and all this different stuff. And then Fitzpatrick starts playing well and he gets named Fitzmagic. It's like, well, maybe this will be something, and it's never. And then we get Josh out, then we finally make the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor, and they score 3 points in the playoffs. And then they draft Josh Allen, and there's all the stuff is that he's too much of a project. He's not accurate enough. He's going to be another big bust. And then they go 6-10 his rookie year, but he shows flashes. And then 2 years later, they're in a championship game. And now he's one of the faces of the NFL, and they're one of the best teams, but they still can't just quite get there yet. So it's so close now, but yet so far away still.
And I don't think I really embraced my team getting to the NFC Championship 2 years ago. Now I'm looking back, I was like, damn, we was one game away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We were one game away.
I know
Something
Dad.
I haven't seen in over 30 years, So
it kind of came out of nowhere, but he got a little too, because I remember when we were talking about going into the last season, how confident he was. I was like, don't. He's like, you could fall. He's like, no, what are you talking about? We're gonna be. And I know it had something to do with injuries, but they were struggling a little bit before that. But I got high. I mean, I think you guys should be pretty good this year, barring injuries, obviously. But
if you saw what he did, if he stays healthy, you saw what he did with a bad defense, a terrible defense. People forget we didn't have a bad didn't just have a bad defense in 25. We had a bad defense in 24. He covered all that up. Okay. This defense can't be, like I said, if this defense can get in the top 20, I think this team wins 11 to 12 games.
All right, before I feel the draft coming, but before we get there, the Browns had better draft picks than the Steelers. Okay. And then Watt picked number 30, Hayward picked number 31. And then he said Watt had 22 sacks in 15 games. He missed 2 with injuries. Now, I'm just going to take a wild guess here that Tim Watkins is a really big Steelers fan. I'm just going to take
he's probably the biggest Steelers fan ever. Me and him go at it all the time about Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. He thinks TJ Watt is better. And I say, look who he plays with. Look at the team that's around him. And look at what's around Myles Garrett. So it's no comparison. I mean, again, name another defensive player who plays for the Cleveland Browns. Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Name me a defensive player that plays for the Cleveland Browns. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Go off the top of your head. Don't hit your phone and Google or Siri. No, you can't. I guarantee you can't. I'm a football nerd and I can't. So,
all right, since you're already getting fired up, it's that time. Feel the draft. It's getting cold. I rearranged everything on here. I gotta find. Okay.
This freezer presentation is one of a kind because there's only one person.
Well, that actually works out, and we'll find out in a little bit why. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Do you have it? Do you have what I asked?
I have it. Yes, I do.
Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look at that, you all. Take a good look at that. Look how many minutes he played. Look how
He
many
played.
points he got.
He played Larry Bird minutes. He played 33.
Look at how many times he shot the ball.
Twice.
This is, yeah. I don't know how much he made, but he should not pick up his check this week. He really should. As a matter of fact, he should be fined for what they call it, conduct detrimental. He should be fined. He doesn't deserve his paycheck because the performance he had in Game 7 is all time. He's going to be in the freezer, so he's going to have freezer burn. That performance was pitiful. Not only the performance, but if you watch the game, he looked scared out of his damn mind. He didn't know when to shoot. He was hesitant on everything he did, and God forbid if Wemby came out on him. It was like he saw a damn ghost.
Yeah, he's
There's
been getting a
no
lot of
way
hate.
that man could go home. Well, he should go home and put the Michael Jackson song on. I'm starting with the Man in the Mirror because this is all time suck. We don't even say that word no more. Suck. He sucked.
I'm a fan of that. I like when that was. This sucks. Yeah, I've always. That's always been a favorite word of mine.
Suck. Look at that. That's one of your top. Well, it's supposed to be one of your top players.
Is he number 2?
And
He's number 2, right?
Performance he had, huh?
Is he number 2?
He's supposed to. Yeah, he's their second best player.
Yeah.
Next to SGA.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I mean, all of his teammates should need to go because SGA had no help. No help. But this guy right here, I mean, he made James Harden look like Larry Bird. I mean, James Harden never went this bad. Although James Harden, he's in the freezer too. So, but this guy, this is pitiful. Pitiful. That is. Hold on. Coming back from that, man. He should have held a press conference. He should have held a press conference and apologized to his teammates, his coach, his owner, and apologized to his family for embarrassing him. Made that name look really bad. When you see,
Go ahead.
No, when you see Holmgren now, you're gonna think of him. It used to be Mike Holmgren, but now you're gonna think of him, and you're gonna be like, oh damn, that game. Oh hell no. No. Chet Holmgren, bro, you got to live with this for the rest of your damn life. Right, so I hope you bounce back from this. It's going to take you a long time to bounce back for this. What's my guy?
Tim, hold on. So there's some kind of alarm going off. Wait, it's going off again. What's going on?
What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
What is that? It says deep freezer, authorized personnel only. All right. Well, let's go in and see what's in there. Oh, what's that? Is that the all new Lee Ice
Hall of Fame freezers? Yes.
Is that what that is?
Yes. Look at the new Hall of Fame freezer, y'all. Well, since we have a Hall of Fame freezer, I guess we have to induct someone.
Oh, you brought his name up. It was perfect timing. So I've been planning this for about a week. So.
Our first inductee, Mr. James Harden. You are in the Hall of Fame, Lee Ice's Hall of Fame freeze. Congratulations, James. You'll be sent some earmuffs, nice hat. So, James Harden, y'all. Give it up for James Harden, Hall of Fame induction to the Lee Ice Hall of Fame freeze.
All right, so I got this made. We'll have this. We'll use this periodically when it's necessary. You had mentioned it yesterday, and I actually did it later that night. I just came up with the idea. And
that is perfect. That is so perfect.
It's good too because this one took a few tries to get right. This was the best looking one that came up, and then I made this to have it kind of go into as it was going through.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So James Harden is the first inductee. Who's going to be next?
Yeah, we don't know. It depends if it's something. You don't have to be in the freezer multiple times to necessarily go in the Hall of Fame. You do something crazy like this what we just did earlier.
That guy, yeah.
Could be in the Hall. Yeah. It could be one moment, and then when football season starts, and then we're gonna have plenty of deep guys going in the freezer. So all right, so we got Matty Ice in the wings. Right before we take a break, and we bring him in to talk about the Stanley Cup. Tim Watkins just wants to talk about the Steelers, so that's all right. We got a few minutes.
Bring it on, Tim. No, what are you saying?
All right, so let's where we left off at. Okay. I don't know what this has to do with the conversation about Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, but he said, when was the last time
he threw the shot at me? He threw the shot at me. It's all good.
That has nothing to do with the conversation. Anyway, okay. Numbers. He said numbers don't lie. That's right. Myles Garrett has the best numbers, so that's true. The Browns had higher draft picks. Okay, we went over that.
What does that mean?
Every team
could have
drafted
higher draft picks, but that doesn't guarantee that you have better players.
Other players could have drafted Watt and Hayward. So what does that mean? He's saying the Steelers knew something that we didn't? What does that mean? Was it Watt was the first round pick?
That's his go-to. They still have TJ Watt still played with better players than Myles Garrett. You can't take that away.
Is he saying because
Watt has a better surrounding cast than Myles Garrett? He always has.
But it wasn't like TJ Watt was drafted late. He was a first round pick, wasn't he?
I think it was a late first round.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's played with better talent. You got Cam Hayward, you got a monster in the middle, then you got Minkah Fitzpatrick behind you. Come on now.
I mean, Watt's very good, and he's probably 2 or 3, but I mean that's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being number 2.
I'm very happy. I'm very, obviously Josh can't be number 1. Mahomes maybe he can be number 1 today going in the next season, but Mahomes is number 1, and that's fine. I'm very happy where Josh Allen is.
Yeah, bro, there's nothing wrong with being number 2 unless you're in the toilet.
He said, "Watch the Larry Bird stuff. Celtics fans don't play." But you weren't insulting Bird. You were actually complimenting him.
Yeah. I was giving him a compliment, man. Bird was a clutch player. All
right. So we got time this out perfect. 6:59. Look at that.
Look at that.
All right. So we'll be right back. When we come back, it's time for Puck You with Matty.
I gotta clear my eyes. Looking at Chet Holmgren hurt my eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are the master of graphics, my friend. I love every time. It's just something new. I love it.
Look at that, man. Look at that.
I almost feel honored to be on after the Hall of Fame, freezer section. Like I feel like this is a pretty big honor, I think.
Yeah. Hey, all I gotta do it. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. It's Matty Ice, my brother in ice, y'all.
How we doing, guys?
On,
Not much, fellas. How you guys doing tonight?
Good,
man. All right, so I know pretty much. I mean, the floor is yours. I know, obviously, Stanley Cup, but it's your team, so I know you're excited. I know you've covered a lot on your show, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're from 16 down to 2. You got the Vegas Golden Knights against the Carolina Hurricanes. Game 1 is tonight at 8 p.m. on ABC. So 1 hour from now, Puck Drop won't be at 8. They'll have the little intros and the anthem and stuff like that. It's probably more like 8:15 will probably be Puck Drop for the first period. So and then we'll see how it goes. Carolina's the number 1 seed out from the East, so they advance all the way through. Vegas, of course, with a huge upset over the number 1 seed out west in Colorado. Vegas has been a team like I think I've underestimated them all playoffs. I thought they'd lose to Utah. I did think they'd beat Anaheim because Anaheim isn't that good. I did not think they'd beat Colorado, but here they are. So it's going to be interesting. These two teams like to both have a lot of things that they like to do in common. So which team is more successful at it? That's what we'll find out.
Who's favored?
It depends on who you ask. I think I saw a story today that one of the NHL guys did, where he interviewed 47 coaches, and it was 27 for Vegas, 20 for Carolina. Most of the quote unquote experts are kind of split, I think, about 50-50. So I think a lot of people are giving Vegas credit for the fact that they did defeat Colorado and how easily they defeated Colorado. Which I honestly think Carolina likes being quote unquote the underdog, even though they have more points by like 20 points than Vegas in the regular season. But I think they kind of like that underdog rule. So Rod will use that to his fullest intent as best as he can.
So according to this, it says the Hurricanes are minus 155 as the favorites for the Stanley Cup, with the Knights plus 125 to plus 130. So very close,
right?
But Hurricanes slightly favored.
Yeah, I think Vegas. It's fun. Vegas seems to like Carolina just because if you look at the analytics, I mean, Carolina is always a very good analytic team. So those that look at those type of things with what they do well, they're always going to do well in that side. So that doesn't surprise me either. That Vegas favors Carolina over Vegas.
Carolina fans, are y'all starving for another Stanley Cup? I think y'all won in what, 2006?
Yeah, so it's been 20 years, exactly from the last time they won it. Yeah, the city is just crazy. Like I've been watching different videos. It was hard for me to actually do my real job today. I was watching I was checking out different things on Twitter. Like I said, the parking lot didn't officially open till 4. By 1 o'clock, there were already people going in to tailgate. From what I heard, by 4 o'clock, a couple of the sections were already completely filled when it was officially open. So it's going to be crazy there. The weather's good tonight too, so they're going to be good and lathered up before they get into the building. So my recommendations for anyone that wants to understand how the loudest house in the NHL really sounds. This is all TNT did a phenomenal job of their coverage of the Eastern Conference Final of letting the TV audience enjoy what Raleigh does and what Montreal does, because both of them are electric atmospheres when the teams come out. Whether or not ESPN does that or not, I don't know. They like to have their analysts on to the very last second. So whether or not they'll just let the crowd enjoy that atmosphere, we'll find out tonight if they're going to be willing. Because Vegas does a pretty good job too. Like you've got a couple of good loud.
I like Vegas crowd.
Well, I mean, the only thing I don't like Vegas is because they also do a hurricane siren, which they stole from the Carolina Hurricanes. Who sound the hurricane siren because we are the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know why Vegas does it, but they always bring out celebrity to do their hurricane siren, which. Again, they stole. That's the only thing I hate about Vegas. Stole a lot of ideas from other teams, but that's fine. But I still do like their intro. And if we're judging this on anthems, they have the best anthem singer, Carnell Johnson. When it comes out to Vegas, like he's gotten 2 50s in a row on my "Oh Say Can You Sing" because he is just he's electric. So they definitely and Adam Lee Decker does an okay job for Carolina, but he's no Carnell Johnson, that's for sure.
All right, Maddie, you I know you talk about it on your show and you make you talk about it in our group chat, but just touch a little bit on how the ratings have been. What do you think how it's going to go for the finals, and then just in general how overall the hockey season and what the future is?
Yeah, it even came out even more good news for them. The game 3 between Montreal and Carolina was the highest rated game 3 in conference finals history. Which again, this is Montreal against Carolina. You're talking about a team from Canada and Carolina getting very, very good ratings. We'll see what Vegas and Colorado was setting records on the West Side on ESPN for ESPN for their highest. We'll see how these finals do because Vegas is still not really considered a big market team, and you have Carolina. Vegas seems to be, for whatever reason, one of those teams that people just either love or hate. So, will that kind of like New England Patriot effect come in where people just want to watch them, even though they may not like either team, but they really hate Vegas, so they want to watch them lose? Does that audience draw? There's the hockey purists, so I don't want to watch a Carolina Vegas matchup. Will they still watch or not? So it's going to be interesting to see. Like, I'm hopeful for the finals that we continue this trend of the top, but we'll see. I think they should do better than when it was Florida and Edmonton. The one before that was Florida and Vegas. That's going to be my draw point, is does it draw better than that one or not? And we'll find out, as it goes on. All the games are on ABC, so they're on the big boy network. So we'll see how that plays out too.
Do you know off the top of your head, just real quick, do they ever clash with the finals, or do they have it set up where it's finals one day?
I think it's because with the finals are on what, NBC this year, or the NBA finals, or is that on ABC as well?
I think it's I just mean, is there any time they go up, like the NBA finals will be on the same time as
they usually try to avoid that.
Okay.
I think both leagues over the last 3 or 4 years have kind of had like a gentleman's agreement that we're not going to go head to head against each other. That's why you see some series where there's 2 days off where there probably wouldn't be, because I think they're trying not to go, and it's kind of works out, right? Because tonight's game 1, tomorrow's game 1 in the NBA finals.
Yeah.
So it's kind of working out that way, where it seems like I think they're trying to stay away from that direct contact.
Now, the NFL, on the other hand, doesn't give a shit because they stole all the headlines from both leagues yesterday. So, but again, it's the NFL.
It wasn't their fault.
But that's what the NFL. That's how the NFL. But the NFL's always been able to be somehow a 12-month, sport, right? And that's what I talked about with when I was on with the guys on Sunday for a little bit. The NHL does not do it that way. Like once the Stanley Cup ends, it's like the draft, free agency is July 1st, and then kind of after that 2 weeks of dealing with the draft and maybe some trades before the draft, and then the trade sale happen before free agency. And once free agency starts and gets done about a week, that's it. Like you won't hear anything from hockey for a good month or two, because I think a lot of the execs go and take that time and actually off, and you just don't get a lot of hockey buzz going on. So it's very condensed with hockey. It's very quick, like the month of June and then that first week in July. That's when all the hockey news is going to happen. So it's interesting how they do that.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have two U.S. hockey teams playing in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
How does the Canadian ratings do when you have two U.S. teams?
They're usually
do the ratings kind of drop?
No, they've done pretty good at still having good ratings. Now, I imagine in Canada it's going to be lower this year than last year because they did have Edmonton in it last year. So it's obviously going to be lower than what that would be without having a Canadian team in it. But the Canadian market still seem to watch. I mean, a lot of these still 60 to 70% of the rosters are players from Canada. So there's enough interest, I think, with team. Now, you're going to have Mitch Marner, who has become an absolute star for Vegas, who up until this time would have been, when his days with Toronto in the playoffs, would have definitely been in the cooler with his playoff performances, has had a breakout year in Vegas. And so I'm sure there's going to be some Toronto fans that are going to, you talk about the hate of Vegas, they're going to be watching it just to see if Mitch Marner, hopefully loses, because I'm sure they do not want him lifting a cup in Vegas when he could not do it in Toronto. So there'll probably be some of that still watching.
Okay, all right. Tell the world, tell the listeners and the viewers, what's the keys and who are the key players?
Yeah, for Vegas, your keys are the big boys, which is Mitch Marner, Jack Eichel, Brett Bowden, and then in goal they have Carter Hart, who's been really, really good in the playoffs. That is their first line. That is really, to be honest with you, their first line is better than Carolina's first line. Carolina's first line really hasn't gotten going yet in the playoffs, which is Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, and Seth Jarvis. So that's going to be key for Carolina. Can they get that line going? Where Carolina has the advantage is their depth. Their third and fourth lines are better than Vegas. Carolina's fourth line of Janikowski, Will Carrier, and Eric Robinson dominated Montreal. That's one of the keys to why they won that series. So that's going to be a big matchup to watch. The other one is going to be special teams. Vegas's power play is really, really good. Carolina's penalty kill is really good. So if one of the keys to how Vegas beat Colorado was how good their special teams were in those 4 games. Carolina's got to stay out of the box because they do not want to let that Vegas power play get going. If Vegas starts getting some power play goals, it's not going to be good news for Carolina. Then you got the battle in goal. Freddie Anderson he did not have a good regular season for Carolina, but he has been incredible in these playoffs. He's got like a 151 goals against average and a 935 save percentage, which is really, really good. But he hasn't faced a lot of shots because of the way Carolina plays. but he faces a lot of quality shots. So he may only have to make 15 to 20 saves a game, but he's making big saves. And that's been the key for Freddie in these series is he's making the big saves when he needs to make them. Because he's not going to get the quantity, but he's going to get the quality. Now, Connor Hart hasn't really been tested yet in the teams that they played. So it's going to be interesting to see how Hart does. And there's, a whole big bag of baggage from the Team Canada scandal with him, where just a lot of people don't like him. He got off scot-free for an incident that took place while he was with Team Canada with a young lady. And for the sake of the show, I'll leave it at that, because if I get going on that rant, we'll go well beyond time. But needless to say, there's just a lot of folks, including my daughter, who is the number one Carter Hart hater probably out there in the world right now, that just does not want to see him raise a Stanley Cup.
Well, I will be rooting for Carolina for you and Sarah. So,
well, I appreciate it.
And I have family in Carolina. So
it's crazy. I mean, it's what I love about Carolina, and why I think that hockey market has become so unique. One, it's the only professional sport that's down there. Two, the Carolina Hurricanes are the one team that North Carolina State Wolfpack, UNC, Tar Heels, and Duke Blue Devil fans can all then get together and root for. So that's why it is such a college football atmosphere down there, because they are surrounded by three. Now, granted, those aren't your three maybe schools that you think of when it comes to college football, but when it comes to college basketball, obviously a different story. So, but that you have that college type atmosphere that happens at these games, and that's the big reason why. So that's why it's kind of unique to the NHL, and they have the space to actually do the tailgating. It's just fun. I imagine, like I said, that it's going to be a rowdy crowd tonight, I'm sure.
All right, Matt, real quick before we get out of here, I know it's Tuesday, but any special plans with food? Got anything special cooking up?
No, we just did we do our subs, so we take some fresh sub meat, and then we do them in the broiler, so we warm them up. So no special pre-game meals, but it's funny, like I don't have the jersey on yet. I'll go put the jersey on here a little bit closer to puck drop, and then Jared and I have pretty much been sitting in exactly the same seats throughout these playoffs, so I imagine that will stay the same. I've been drinking water throughout the playoffs, so I'll continue to drink water. So, we're not changing any of that stuff up. That's for sure.
No, you can't change. Don't change anything. Even if you got to wear the same underwear, don't change.
Yeah. I'm not that bad now. I can't vouch for my son. I don't know what he's doing under there, but no, I'm not so bad either. Like this is the same T-shirt I've had on since they won, but I have washed it in between every series, so I feel like that's okay, because I've done it once and it didn't affect anything. So now the jersey has not been washed yet, but that's why I only pull that out for game time.
That's all right. That's Mighty Ice, y'all. He's the best in the business.
All right, go ahead. Plug yourself before you get out of here. Plug your show.
Yeah, drive time. This coming week we're going to be Tuesday at 5:00, because on Monday I'm going to the Guards Yankees game. So we'll be on Tuesday at 5:00. And then I do always want to plug the show that's going to be coming up on July 20th. That's going to be our special show from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. with Coach Stefan from Pretenders and Contenders. We're going to have 4 coaches, 4 officials. We are going to talk about how to build better rapport between officials and coaches, how unruly parents are affecting the coaching side and officiating side, and then how everyone can help to get more officials involved with their local sports teams. So that's going to be on July 20th. That's going to be a must-see.
Must-see TV, y'all. All right, Maddie.
All right,
guys. Appreciate the time, Zoe. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Take care, guys. Have a good rest of the show.
All
right. So, no, never mind. I just responding to a message from Josh saying to send him the link, but it looks like he's got it. Nope.
He has it?
Yep, he's waiting in the wings.
All right.
All right, so we will take another quick break, just real quick, just to reset, and then we will have Josh on for Basketball 101 to obviously talk about the NBA. Well, the big news is LeBron going to the Warriors, but we'll talk a little bit about the NBA Finals before we talk about that. You still gotta think about me. You can put me on airplane mode.
Basketball 1-on-1, y'all. It's the H to the O to the J.
What's up,
Unopinionated Josh is in the building, y'all. What's up, nephew?
What's up, Unc? How you doing, man? Everything good?
Everything good in the hood.
Good. What's up, Fly? What's up, Fly guy? How you doing, sir?
What's up, Josh? I was just going to send you the link, but it looks like you're good. So
yeah, I was able to get in. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. So obviously, big NBA stuff. So let's just get right to it. LeBron James. He's going to the Warriors. Let's talk about it.
Why are you doing this to me, man?
LeBron going to the Warriors, man.
I mean,
I would love for that to happen. That would be amazing. All them old geezers on the same team, him, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler. Oh man, them old geezers. They need all that to be the old Victor Wembanyama. Oh, say it ain't so. Oh Lord have mercy, say it ain't so. Oh no. No. Not the guy that. Not him. No.
So it was something that came up this morning on one of.
But if he comes to the Spurs,
we'll take it.
So LeBron can go to the Spurs.
We'll take him. He can come to us after we win the championship. We'll take
it. Just said like LeBron going to the Warriors is a live thing. That was the big headline.
Yeah, I actually think it is somewhat of a live thing. I think LeBron know that the Lakers not really close to winning the championship. So I think his best chance of trying to win the championship, if he wants to stay out west, is to join the Warriors. I think the Warriors, if he joined them, will have a better chance of winning the championship. Than the Lakers.
All right, so I've had a lot of fun with that for the rest of the show. So let's get.
We need LeBron. LeBron, please go to the Warriors. I would love that.
But it would be good for our show. But
this man will have to say something nice about you. That would be amazing. That would be truly amazing. Can you imagine?
All right, let's talk about the finals. Your boy, your team, Wemby and the Spurs. They are in there. What's going to happen?
Before I get to that, I just want to say this. Can you imagine LeBron if he joined the Warriors? He make a game-winning shot, or he make a game-winning assist to Steph. Like, you would have to say something nice about him. Like, look at that pass by LeBron, that court vision, or look at him hitting a game-winning clutch shot. That would be, man, LeBron, please go to the Warriors. I didn't even think this was an option.
Or Steph takes the game-winning shot, misses it. LeBron rebounds it real quick, puts it in, and gets the win. Oh my
God, that would be amazing. Steph shoot a game-winning three, he miss it. The ball, you know what happened in like 2013 in Miami with Ray Allen and the Spurs? Yeah. The ball get tipped out, and the ball gets tipped out to LeBron, and he hit that three to top. Oh, woo!
Y'all trying to get me to walk the hell off, huh? Y'all trying to get me to walk off this damn show.
Sorry, listen. I'm a guest on this show. I answered the questions that the people asked me. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring this up. So I just answered the questions the brother boy told me. Fly guy, you're doing a great job, bro. Keep up the great work. Now getting to a serious note, the NBA Finals. I thought the Knicks.
Before you get started, the NBA, I mean, they hit the lottery. You got the new face of the NBA in the biggest market. You couldn't ask for anything better than Wemby playing against the Knicks in a finals. The Garden crowd and Wemby. They hit out instant home run.
When you say new face of the NBA, so does that make him the best player in the NBA?
Just because you're the face of the NBA don't mean you're the best player in the NBA.
When has the face of the NBA not been the best player in the NBA?
When LeBron was the face.
When was LeBron the face?
LeBron has been the face up until I'll say maybe 2020.
But they've been looking for a new face. It was supposed
to... I disagree with that, but all right, let me ask you this. When do you think he became the face of the NBA?
LeBron?
When he went to the Heat.
Okay, so I would agree with that. I agree with the last part. I disagree with the first part. I don't think his length was that long as the face of the league. I think your man I think Steph Curry.
Yeah. I put my man in there around 16, 17, 8, somewhere. Definitely.
I would say
15. Definitely. He's been more the face in the 20s than LeBron.
Oh, okay, I would agree with that. But I just think most times when a player has been the face of the league, they're the best player. Listen, I'm not rubbing it in. I've said this. I said this a year ago, Fly Guy. When people was talking about Victor Wembanyama, I said he was a top 5 player last year. The whole world thought I was crazy. I had people tell me he needed to prove it in the playoffs, which is actually, if you think about it, it's actually the dumbest logic you could have because he was playing short minutes in the regular season. Fly Guy, guess what happens in the playoffs? You watch football, you're an avid Buffalo Bills fan, right? Cool. In the playoffs, right? Instead of Ed Oliver playing 60, 65% of the snaps in the game against the Jets in the regular season, he's going to play 80% of the snaps because it's the playoffs. It's finality. There is a chance that you go home. If you look at Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the last 4 minutes of Game 7 was tired. Why? He played 43 minutes. There is a finality to what you're doing. So when I said Vic was a top 5 player, people laughed at me. Now you fast forward a year later, he's the face of the NBA. So again, in order to be the face of the league, you have to be the best player, in my opinion, to be the face of the league. Now,
but he did exactly what me and a lot of people said do. Prove it. He has a lot to prove, and he's proved it.
I don't prove what? Like prove that what
when you was calling him a top 5 player before the season, okay?
Yeah.
Before this season, you could see the potential, you could see it, but he hasn't. There was no way you could say, okay, he's the best player in the NBA or top 5 because he hadn't done anything.
But
you see what I'm saying?
That's not how.
But he's proved it now.
But that's not how basketball works. LeBron James got drafted. I'm picking LeBron. I'm not. Please, just stay off your personal feelings. Just stay focused on what I'm saying. In 2003, LeBron James got drafted. LeBron James didn't make the playoffs to his 3rd season. Before LeBron James entered the playoffs in his 3rd season, he was a top 5 player. Why? Because you can see the attributes, you can see the abilities, you can see the traits. What I'm saying is Victor Wembanyama was 7'5". Now, this is my thing. We like to make heaven and earth excuses for players that we like. Steph Curry, Josh Allen, etc. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do something for Victor Wembanyama. And I want y'all to tell me if what I'm saying is factually incorrect or correct. His first year in the NBA, you know who his starting point guard was?
Well, I wouldn't know anyway, but no.
Jeremy Sohan. The Spurs waived him and the Knicks signed him this season. When you're watching the NBA Finals, Jeremy Sohan will not touch the floor. He will not touch the floor. Okay, cool. That's the first year. The second year, they go out, they draft Castle. They draft Stephon Castle. They signed a guy that was 38 years old, who a year later got kicked out of the NBA. Would you like to know who that was? The second best player before Stephon Castle developed was Chris Paul. Cool. You know what? Okay, man, here. And that's a name.
Yeah, I know that name.
That's the second year. During the second year, his head coach had a stroke. So you take away a guy that's been there for 30 years out of the system. Yes, that's gonna shake some things up. Mitch Johnson had to learn on the fly. So again, like my point, this is his first actual year where you like, okay, you got an actual point guard that's gonna be there. That's who's the point guard. He has obviously has an actual team. I understand that. His coach is going to be there. This is not an interim tag. You're the real head coach. So for me, like we seen it with Shaq. When Shaq got drafted in '92, before Shaq played a playoff game in 1994, he was a top 5 player in the league. Now, did something that have to do with a certain player retiring out the league at that time? Yes, that might have had a spot available. But other than Olajuwon, if you want to say Barkley, fine. I can make a case after 94, Shaq was better than Barkley, but whatever. That Jordan, Shaq was a top 5 player. He didn't play in the playoffs. So my point is that you don't have to make the playoffs for me to be like, okay, yo, like you're a top 5 player. Now, to be the best player, yeah, you got to win. And that's what I think Victor Wembanyama do with the Spurs team.
Yeah, when I say prove it, I'm not talking about just winning. I mean, he really hadn't played a full season, you know, to put himself as and I always say, me and you always talk about, I said, yeah, he's going to be the best player in the league at some point, you know, especially when he get his grown man strength. What in the hell are you going to do with him? There's nothing you can do with him.
Yeah.
And the next, once he becomes 25, what in the hell are you going to do with that guy? There's nothing you can do with that guy. Nothing at all.
Only thing that can stop him, only thing that can stop Victor Wembanyama is Victor Wembanyama. I will say one of my biggest criticisms, I still think he shoots too many jump shots, but some of that is part of his game, but some of it, I feel like if you attack the rim early, that's a tone setter, and that'll open up your jump shot.
I'm a casual basketball fan. I don't watch it every game and all that, but I've watched it over years. I know stuff. every time he shoots and jumps in the air, I get nervous when he comes down. His legs gonna snap because his legs look so skinny. Is that just me, or are they skinny?
No, they are skinny, but I'll compare it to this. If you are nervous when Victor Wembanyama shoots, do you have a heart attack when Chet Holmgren shoots? Because his legs skinnier than Victor Wembanyama's. So again, and Chet, I'm not here to joke on you. I made a joke about Chet.
Why? Joke on him. He deserves it.
He's in the freezer.
If you ever, I saw that. I've been watching. If you saw, if you ever seen a man get his soul snatched on national TV, you saw it.
Got his damn soul snatched.
So he'll have to come back from that. He could be Paul Gasol, which is my good co-host JG from Highly Opinionated said. He could be
Paul Gasol.
No, what I'm saying, this could be a Paul Gasol experience for him. That when Paul Gasol got bullied in 2008, he came back in 2010. They beat the Celtics. The team got more physical. The rest of the team along with him, and that propelled them to win the championship in 2010. Or this could be a Ben Simmons, Nick Anderson moment.
I think it's going to be that's what I was thinking. Ben Simmons. I hope we don't turn into Ben Simmons.
So it could definitely be that. But yeah,
but the way he looked shook.
Oh yeah, he was petrified. But see, not to be funny, that's why I told you last year he was a top 5 player. When I look at basketball, I don't only look at what you bring on the court. I look at intangibles. You can make a case Wembanyama got the best intangibles, maybe the best intangibles ever, because he's going to deter you from shooting shots that you usually take, and that's really that's one of his greatest traits. So I look forward for him to do that in this Knicks series. Before I make my official pick, I think this series comes down to rebounding. So the Spurs and the Knicks and the Spurs have played 3 times. The Knicks are 2-1. The Knicks won on December 16th, they won the NBA Cup Championship. They beat the Spurs 124-113. The Knicks out-rebounded the Spurs 59-42 in that game. They met 15 days later, New Year's Eve, December 31st. It was New York at San Antonio. The Spurs won that game 134-132. Mitchell Robinson didn't play. Julian Champagnie had 36 points. He made 11 threes. The Spurs won the rebound in 48-40. Again, Mitchell Robinson didn't play in that game. Last time they played was March the 1st. The Spurs went to New York. The Knicks defeated the Spurs 114-89. The Knicks won the rebounding matchup 54-41. To me, I'm gonna combine me and my co-host from Highly Opinionated JG. Shout out to my brother JG, Club JG Podcast. This series comes down to turnovers and rebounding. And I think both teams turn the ball over, but I think the Spurs will do a better job of taking care of the ball because they got their point guard back in De'Aaron Fox. So for me, we did this on Highly Opinionated. I think the Spurs will turn the ball over. I think the Spurs will turn the Knicks over more. I think they'll, take care of the ball. And I think they'll be somewhat close to the Knicks in rebounding. If the Spurs are somewhat close to the Knicks in rebounding, I think the Spurs will win. I'm picking the San Antonio Spurs to win the NBA championship in 6 games, with obviously Victor Wembanyama winning the Bill Russell Trophy as the Finals MVP.
Oh, got him in 6.
Yeah, I got him in 6. So really, I was debating 5, but I think the Knicks will win at least 1 game in San Antonio, and then that'll. Now I will say, if the Knicks go down 2 on San Antonio.
Sweet.
Oh, don't let the Knicks win one of the first 2 games in San Antonio, or it will end in 6. But it will end in 6 with New York winning.
Oh yeah, I don't think the Spurs will be, even if the Spurs get down 1-0 or it's 1-1 going back. That happened in the Western Conference Finals. It was 1-1 going to San Antonio. It happened in the second round. It was 1-1 they were down 1-0 game 1 against Minnesota when everybody screamed the alarm panel. And then they lost Victor Wembanyama game 2 in the first round against Portland. It was 1-1. So for me, this Spurs team I know they're young, but I'm going to use a Beyonce line. They're young and they're ready. And I think the Spurs team is young, ready. They've been through the ringers. They've been through the battles, and they went through however you rank the Thunder and the Spurs, they went through the best or the second best team. So no disrespect to the Knicks. I think the Knicks definitely have a chance of winning. They can out-rebound the Spurs. OG Anunoby, if he can get physical with Wemby, play good defense on him, keep him on that 3-point line, the Knicks definitely.
Who is Wemby going to guard?
I would start him off with Josh Hart. Let me say this. I would actually, to throw a wrinkle in the plans, I would actually start him on Karl Anthony Towns because they wouldn't see that coming. And then start, because Karl-Anthony Towns going to shoot jump shots. I was having him on Karl-Anthony Towns, and then as the game progressed, I would do a matchup zone, some type of 2-3 zone, 3-2 zone, some type of that. And then I would, if we went man, I would have him sticking Josh Hart. He should be sticking the worst offensive player on the court.
I got the Knicks winning. I mean, I said it in the beginning of the season. I don't know how, but they're gonna win. Okay. It's their year. It's their. I said it at the beginning. I think this is the Knicks' year, and they get one in San Antonio. I don't see the Spurs, although they're a young team. They're probably the best young team because of the position, because of the franchise that they are. You know, they are a grounded franchise. So the young players will not get out of hand. So if there's a young team that can handle that New York crowd, it is the Spurs. But I think the momentum that the Knicks have is just timing. I'm not going to say it's everything in sports. It's just time for New York. It's just time for the Knicks to win, man. It's time. Every now and then, a team in the NBA wins a championship that you never see coming. The 2004 Pistons, the 2008 19 Toronto Raptors, the 1977 Portland Trail Blazers, hey, the 1978 Washington Bullets. Every now and then, there's a team that comes from nowhere to win a championship.
Well, I mean, both teams fit that category because the Spurs.
Nah, Wemby. You saw Wemby's greatness from day one.
Yeah, why the hell was you telling me he wasn't a top 5 player? Like this makes like I'm sorry.
I always said yes, he's gonna be. And I even said, yes, he will be the best player in the league. Yes, you can see that coming. Did you see it coming this early? No one, I'm not going to say no one saw it coming this early, but he's here now.
Yeah, so, I get that. But I'm saying both teams fit that role, though. Like, I know you trying to make it about Wemby. The Spurs are not the Victor Wembanyama. They're the San Antonio Spurs. So,
the Knicks don't have a true, a player that's going to be in the GOAT conversation. They don't have that player.
Yeah,
okay,
you don't have to have that to win the championship.
You're right, but what I'm saying, you said they're in the same position, and I'm saying they're not because they don't have that player.
They are. You're looking at the roster. I'm looking at the positions both teams were in coming into the season. Before the season started, no one had the Spurs going to the finals, including this gentleman. I had the Denver Nuggets. Now I had the Spurs in the play-in, playoffs, whatever. I thought they would take a jump. No, they took leaps and bounds. So I didn't see that coming. I will be the first to admit that. But I'm saying before the season started, if you would have said who was going to win the East, yeah, maybe most people would have picked the Knicks. It was down between the Knicks and the Cavs. But if it came to the West, nobody was picking the Spurs. Nobody. I saw some, and I'm not doing this because it's your team. I'll do both our teams or both our guys. I'll say that. I saw projections before the season started. The Golden State Warriors and the LA Clippers were going to have more wins than the Spurs. So nobody saw. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the Spurs fit that role of how you just trying to describe the Knicks as they're trying to come out of nowhere team that no one sees winning the championship. People can see the Spurs winning it now because they see what bro is. They see what the team is. But before the season started,
I mean, once they saw Victor having a season, there's no. I mean, you can't. You're not surprised. When January hit, nobody's surprised that the Spurs are in the finals right now.
Yeah.
When the playoffs started,
yeah. But I'm saying when January hit, nobody wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks made the finals. They would not be surprised. Think about what the Knicks had in the East.
Talking Boston, and then when Cleveland made the trade for James Harden, Lord have mercy, everybody jumped on their damn bandwagon.
Yes, I get that. Jumping on a bandwagon is not saying that a team can't get to the finals. Think about the teams.
Nobody picked the Knicks to go to the finals, but me.
Congratulations, sir. The roses are on its way. I'm not taking nothing away from you doing that. What I'm saying is that you make it seem like the Knicks are Charlotte. Bro, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They literally lost in game 6. Yeah, game 6 last year. Like to make it seem like, oh my God, like they just came out of nowhere. Nah, they were a conference finals last year. That's my point. Like, it's not unforeseen. To me, it's more. To me, what you're saying more fits. It fits more San Antonio than the Knicks. San Antonio only made the playoffs since DeMar DeRozan.
Hey, Josh, real quick before we get out of here, do you kept saying Wemby's the best player in the league? I'm not denying. Do you think they got it right with the MVP?
Yes.
Okay.
So for my vote, and I'm again, ladies and gentlemen, my vote don't count. They kill me for this, but I do it every year on the show. I had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I thought whoever for me, when you are the number one seed in the West, that's gonna give you a leg to stand up on. I don't care how great you are, anybody else is. You the number one seed in the West, and you got the numbers to validate it. J-Dub missed some time. I feel like somebody else missed some time on that team, but they missed. You had guys in and out the lineup. SGA deserved the MVP.
I hope this doesn't happen. If the Knicks win, I hope that it's Wemby can't win the big one. I really hope that doesn't happen.
But I mean, you'll hear that, but it's 3 years.
You know the culture we live in.
One person starting that. It's only gonna be one person starting that. So,
I mean,
yeah, you the only fool. You the only fool that's gonna say something like that.
Well, I'm giving the guy his props. I called him the face of the NBA. It don't get no bigger.
Okay, let me say this. At 22, when you lose, no one said any other player that was great. Man, I don't know if they can win the big one.
I'm just saying, but in today's culture, that's what I'm saying.
Trust me, they're not going to say that. Not about
they
that.
Don't. I really hope they don't.
Unless they get like swept.
Yeah, if they got swept. If they got swept, and he averaged 14.
But if
10, yeah. But if he doing, bro, like the first one.
I mean, Luka is what, 25, 26? They already saying he can't win the big one.
Yeah, Luka. Like, no disrespect, don't compare Luka and Victor Wembanyama. Only thing they got in common, they both born out of the United States. They have nothing else, and they play basketball. Don't compare Victor and Luka Doncic, please. That's two different.
They wanted him to be the face. He's good, but
Luka Doncic is a great offensive player. Victor Wembanyama is a great basketball player. That's two different things. I'm not comparing.
But don't shit on Luka like he's some trash or something.
Hey, sir, let me ask you a question. Did anything I say about Luka was I wrong?
No.
He did lead the Mavericks to it. He did lead the Mavericks to he did lead the team to the final. He has gone to the final.
And then they traded him.
You're right. Fly guy. Who playing in the finals tomorrow? Who the Knicks playing?
The Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, so bro, like that's what I'm saying is that again, Luka Doncic is a great player. He's a great offensive player. He's not a great overall player. He's what we call Seabass on defense. Seabass, get him. That's what we want. We calling him out. So again, let me ask you a question. Who the hell calling Wemby out? Maybe SGA a couple times, fine, pick and roll, cool. Ain't nobody like, yeah, we just want to keep calling Wemby out. So for me, I think I don't think no one's going to say that. I think Victor Wembanyama will perform like he usually performs, and I think we'll have a great series. I don't disagree with you. I think the Knicks are a formidable opponent. Again, comes down to rebounds and turnovers. I think the Spurs will be able to handle business.
Who you picking, Fly Guy? Who you picking, Fly Guy?
I'll take D Brown and the '92 Boston Celtics with Reggie Lewis not keeling over. I'll take them.
That was terrible. That was terrible.
I was just rewatching that stuff. I was in the mood to watch old stuff. I went back and watched one of Bird's last games where he hit his face,
his head on it. Yeah, that was.
And then I watched
Pacers came back in the game.
Yeah, and then I watched Reggie and Reggie's first playoff game without Bird, but that's the game where he falls over.
Flag, I got a question. You a Celtics fan?
Growing up, my dad was a diehard Larry Bird Celtics fan. So growing up as a kid, I was a Celtics fan, and we watched I have vivid memories of watching Slam Dunk contest with my dad and rooting for D Brown because he was a Boston Celtic, and then he took that Slam Dunk contest by storm. And then I went and bought Reebok pumps. I have a D Brown jersey, and he became my favorite player. And then when Larry Bird retired and Reggie Lewis died, my dad just kind of stopped watching the Celtics, and then they sucked, even though D Brown was like their best player, but they kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Tim Hawkins still watching. He is a diehard Celtic fan too. You might get a couple comments from him if he's still watching. I just think it's the next year. I said in the beginning, I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's going to happen, and that's the greatest thing for the NBA, for the New York Knicks to win a championship. It'd be good for the NBA.
before we get out of here, I just want to say this. I want to say a special congratulations to the Inside the NBA crew. This will be the first time they ever do the NBA Finals. So shout out to Ernie Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, plug away.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, highly opinionated. We drop an episode every week. This week it's just me and my good co-host, my good brother JG. Make sure you follow him and subscribe to his show, the Club JG Podcast. Highly opinionated drop tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
All right, Lee, take us home.
All right, that was the H to the O to the J. Highly opinionated Josh. Things are coming on.
Yes, sir.
It's time to go watch the introduction to the Stanley Cup. Matty Ice told you, Carolina.
While you're watching the Tuesday night flight on your phone.
Right.
Simultaneously. I gotta see if I can ever get on that flight with those guys. That's an interesting.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to wait in line. We go right to the front. So
we go right to the front. Okay.
We go right to the front.
Yeah, I'm sure you know. Right. I'm sure you know the owners of the show. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, we know them. We know them. like this. For the H to the O to the J, the highly opinionated Josh. For the fly guy, I'm your favorite Unc Lee Ice. You have been watching Unapologetic Sports on the Sideline Junkie Podcast Network. We're here each and every Tuesday. 6:30, but tonight we get started early at 6. We're going to see y'all next week, but before we leave, I'm going to leave you like we always leave you. Whether you like it or don't like it, damn it, you better learn to love it because it's the best thing going. We are out of here.